I welcome you. Well, thank you, Senator Kafalis, for that great introduction. It is wonderful to be here with my friend Stephanie. Thank you for opening this up. You know, the Mile High United Way is just such a tremendous partner in so many endeavors around the state, really focused on helping children and families. And I love the new headquarters. I love where you're located. I love that it's kind of reminded every day, I imagine, when you come to work here, some of the people you walk by as you come in, of the incredible need we still have in Colorado, despite our incredible economic revival. I mean, we're doing great as a state if you look at sort of the macro picture. But if you look at individual communities, individual families, we see that our economic revival hasn't really lifted all boats. It really hasn't helped everybody. And so this new Colorado Earned Income Tax Credit is really going to help us. I want to mention a few folks who have been very key here, and of course, Sam Geary from the Piton Foundation. Thank you for what you've done, not just with this effort, but tremendous leadership you've shown over literally decades now, really focused on children in low-income families, the people who are the most vulnerable in our society. So please, a round for Sam. Thank you. Now, most people don't think of Colorado as being a state with a lot of poor people, and that's good. We don't want it to be that way. And Colorado, when you look at other states, we rank relatively low in terms of the percentage of our population that's below poverty level. But we're still at a level that we know is far too high. When we talk about that our poverty rate is about 12%, which places us 13th nationally. And yet that number can be deceptive because 12% doesn't sound huge, but that's literally hundreds of thousands of individuals who are living below the poverty level. So then we know we have to do more, we have to do better. A recent report from the Colorado Fiscal Institute, thank you, Carol Hedges, for being here and for your leadership. I've known Carol since back to the Governor Romer days when we worked together. We were just youngsters. Anyway, they stated that more than 600,000 Coloradans work in low-wage jobs. It is jobs paying $12 an hour or less. That's a quarter of all Colorado workers. Again, we need to do better. Now, tax season is really kicking off now, and so it's a perfect time to talk about both the federal earned income tax credit, which the Senator already described, which helps so many millions of Americans, but now what Colorado is going to be able to do again. It did for a while, and many years past, and now we're able to do it again. It's really about helping low-income families better meet their very immediate needs for food and nutrition and housing and health care to serve their kids. So our earned income tax credit is as much as $500. It's a 10% match of your federal EITC. So if you got a $5,000 federal earned income tax credit, you could get a $500 from the state. That $500 makes a tremendous difference to a low-income family. I think a lot of folks don't realize how much $500 means to some families. Now, we know that more than 354,000 Colorado families claimed the EITC in 2013, and 18% of rural taxpayers claimed their earned income tax credit. So when we talk about the people who benefit from their earned income tax credit, it's important to look at who they are. It's rural Coloradans. It's 25,000 veteran and military families who claim the earned income tax credit. It's roughly 400,000 children who live in families or are part of families that claim the earned income tax credit. And now, more people are going to have access to it this year because of the leadership of Senator Kafalis and other people in this room. So thank you, Senator Kafalis. I've known the Senator for a long time, back when I worked with Housing and Urban Development. And he doesn't remember when we met, but it goes back to when we were looking at low-income housing in northern Colorado. It was an important issue then, and it still is. And he's always been a leader when it comes to fighting for the rights of marginalized and low-income people. So thank you, Senator Kafalis. Now, it's great that we have this Colorado Earned Income Tax Credit, but it's only good if people know about it. and if they can take advantage of it. So that's what this is about, and that's why the governor has issued the proclamation I'm going to read in just a minute. We want more people to know about it. We want more people to take advantage of it because it's a benefit that will really, again, help lift them out of poverty and help them, again, help their children have greater opportunities. So let me read this proclamation. I want to mention one other group, Tax Help Colorado, which, of course, is sponsored by PTON and the Colorado Community College System. I remember visiting one of their sites out at their Lowry campus, and that place was hopping in tax season last year. Number of people coming in to really get the help they need to claim the tax credit, to get the benefits they will get if we administer this properly and make people aware of it. So let me read this proclamation from the governor. First, let me show you it's kind of cool on this official proclamation paper with the gold seal. This is the real deal. So these proclamations are a little bit long and they can be a little bit dry, but you're going to help me because there's a lot of whereas clauses, and you're going to help me introduce each whereas clause. So when I do this, just together, loudly, whereas. Okay, so first one, whereas. For the first time in 15 years, Colorado workers will be able to claim the Colorado State Earned Income Tax Credit and, you guys follow instructions well. The Colorado State EITC builds on the federal EITC, which is one of the nation's most effective tools for reducing poverty among working families and children, and the Colorado State EITC will help boost the financial security of more than 350,000 Colorado families, helping them claim an additional $72 million in tax refunds, and the Colorado State EITC will help the 26.2% of workers in Colorado now classified in low-wage positions to make ends meet, and Colorado is now joining 26 other states with their own EITCs, and some 25,000 military families in Colorado rely on the EITC, and 18% of those who use the tax credit live in rural areas in Colorado. And, hey, don't wane on me now, research shows that for every $3,000 a year in added income a family gets, their working hours increase substantially, and their annual earnings increase by 17%. And research shows that children and families who receive the EITC do better in school, are more likely to attend college, yay college, and can be expected to earn more as adults. And the EITC contributes to local economies because research shows that low-income families spend a relatively large share of their income on groceries and other necessities which tend to be purchased locally. And final, the EITC helps create a more sustainable workforce when refunds are used on transportation and child daycare costs. Therefore, I, John W. Hickenlooper, Governor of the entire state of Colorado, do hereby proclaim forever after January 28, 2016 as Colorado EITC Awareness Day in the state of Colorado.